First of all, guys, I want to say thank you. Thank you so much for being responsive, for being so flexible, and being like on your toes to make sure that we were able to get our kids into the classrooms, keep them safe for the day, and then have them cool out. What we saw in the first part of the day, and I know you guys were teaching, I know you guys were out in the pods and the different areas of the school, you didn't get to see all the things that we saw out there. But again, it was just a lot of misunderstandings, a lot of miscommunication, a lot of emotions, and just people, students, just, and I wish I could say organized, but they were just so disorganized. And again, we have to have organized environments. We have to educate them on the right way to do things. And what I saw this morning definitely wasn't it. It just, the optics of it, the way it looks from far away, because there were helicopters above looking at it. Again, it just doesn't look the way it should look, right? And so I know that we addressed it. Today's plan was to just, again, you guys helped us out, held them in classes, we fed them. Hopefully, again, I trust that everyone got them to log on to their online classes or Apex or Canvas, or even just had a discussion on what's happening and what can we, each one of them, do so that we're not in these situations again. Today, what it was an impromptu safety plan. Safety for our students, because easily it could have gone like it did yesterday, where several kids were hurt, people were arrested, it could have gone that way again. But again, thank you guys for being so flexible and making it happen. So we're building the ship as we fly, right? We heard you. Starting Monday, we're gonna have the cell phone pickup plan. We're gonna do it before the day starts. We're gonna have set up tables at the front with bins, and the bins are gonna be labeled for the last period of the day, right? Kids put their phones there, and again, at the end of the day, they're gonna go to their last period, they do their lesson, and then they get their phone and they go home. Again, the message is clear. It's been on the marquee, it's been on the walls, it's been everywhere, that no cell phones are in school. And you guys have been here longer than I have. You guys have been seeing those same signs longer than I have. And we are an NESA campus. Everyone that's shaking nah and we can't do that and this and that, you signed up for this. You accepted the $10,000. Again, I wasn't here when y'all made those decisions, but we're here now, and I trust that everybody knows that we all have to be together with the same plan, the same message, or else we're gonna be having leaks in our cauldrons. Why is it a cauldron? We're not. So, at any rate, it's all of us together. It's all of us together, and I know we have a really good team that we can make it happen. Today I saw it. So again, in the mornings we'll pick up the phones. No cell phones, not even during lunch. If we see it, again, students, you should have turned it in. And again, if you really need it, you should have it in your backpack, tucked away for emergencies. And so we need your help. We need to be all consistent. And that goes back to we all have to have a united front. We all have to say the same things, because if not, it's not going to work. So we address the students. Again, if the student refuses, I'm not asking you to escalate it. I'm not asking you to argue. Just write the student's name down, ID number, call us over. We're here to support. And then for us, we have someone talked about a behavior matrix, and I was reflecting on that. That's more of an IAT thing. That's usually involves teachers and the team, and they kind of go over like steps for a plan for behavior for kids, for specific kids that are in an IAT behavior plan. But what we're going to do is we're going to have a discipline plan for this. Of course, you call us, we'll go, And we'll handle that. If a student refuses, okay, well, come with me to ISS. Easy, right? And that's that. Why argue? Why get into so much? We also will have a lockdown plan in place, very similar to today. The lockdown plan, again, it's if things go awry, we're gonna ask everyone to unite, all of us staff, right? Get to our doors, get our kids inside, and you see extra kids, put them inside and hold them in. Because again, it's about student safety. 99% of our students, they're not into whatever was happening yesterday, but they're being misguided by sheep. They're uneducated, of course, because they haven't even finished high school. They probably don't have parents to tell them the right thing every time. And I'm just being real, right? Again, so they will follow because they want to just get attention. But again, that's just going about the wrong way. And so the lockdown plan today, you guys experienced it, very secure, very safe, going over to get your lunches, going over, again, in an organized way. We'll have a contingency plan for walkouts. And again, we're here to make sure that our kids are safe. That's the first part. And then after that, we have to give them good instruction. But today, again, we didn't see safety. We didn't feel that from the student body. We're only as strong as our weakest link. It takes every single one of us, especially because we're in these pods. If they start to see through the glass windows, literally we have a lot of glass, kids streaming out of one class, guess what's that going to do to the other class? If they see kids going in and out as much as they want, with no plan inside from the teacher to say, hey, you don't need to go to the bathroom every day during my period. Again, we have to come up with plans. So, Mr. LaGuardia, did you want to talk to our staff? All right, guys, give it a big round of applause for Ms. Imelda LaGuardia, Superintendent of the South.
So I doubt that most of you are happy about that today. For those of you that don't know me, you should know me by now. I've been to Madison quite a few times. We've been trying to work through the culture here at Madison, both, at all levels, right? With the leadership, with the staff, with the students, and also really trying to build a relationship with parents. And so these last few days, and really this whole entire year, it has been very disappointing for us. I think we're just going to call it what it is. There's a lot of dysfunction. There's a lot of individuals that don't believe in the mission and the vision of moving things forward. They may not agree philosophically, but I'm here to tell you that the NES program is just a structure for students so that they get the rigor and the education that they deserve. And it puts that accountability on the teacher to be well prepared and for the students to demonstrate and have accountability in their learning. We've been struggling all year, even when Ms. Lee was here. And Ms. Lee was a veteran principal, APM principal that I recruited to come to this campus. And even then, we still struggled with folks to be committed and to work collectively even to support her at the administration level and her leadership team, as well as teachers that were digging in their heels and not wanting to do what they need to do. And I'm here to tell you, we are not having this happen again. You have a responsibility for the safety and for the education of every student on this campus. And some of you today did not demonstrate that. And I'm very, very disappointed because some of you were too worried about your lunch. You were too worried about eating lunch while everything was going down, confused as to whether or not it's a lockdown. And those things, I'm just telling you generally, it's not okay. If you don't want to work here at Madison, it's a choice. You can finish strong, finish your year, and move on. We're in an urban setting where students have a lot of needs, both social, emotional, academic. They face a lot of challenges in their homes. And if you're not vested and you don't want to do the hard work, then don't stay. If you want to dig your heels in and fight the administration, it's not going to happen. If something goes down in this building, we all face a consequence. We've seen too many things across the nation. Violent things that have happened, and children that have lost their lives, and adults and teachers. We are not having that here in Madison. So if you need to reflect on what you need to do and you want to have a conversation with me, and I have 3 teachers that I'm going to talk to that were very disrespectful. First of all, you don't even know who I am, number 1. Number 2, you're worried about other things that instead of really looking at the optics that are happening and things are happening, we need all hands on deck. We don't need spectators. We need people that are going to mobilize and help each other. And I didn't see that. I saw pockets. I see pockets of great teachers doing their part, but I see other people. It's a day in the park. It's not a good day. It wasn't a good day yesterday to see kids being dragged and beaten to death on the floor. That's not okay. That is a bad culture. And that is because we enable students to do what they want. Come and go and do it. I got headphones and I can know. Everybody, there's 2 things that are non-negotiables. And that's respect and trust. And if we don't have that, we don't have anything. And if you don't have a leader that you respect and trust, you're not going anywhere. And trust me, I will be getting a phone call from Mr. Miles regarding about what occurred. And I have been here, I was here yesterday when the lockdown happened. I'm here again, and guess what? I'm not sitting in an office, drinking coffee, having my lunch. And people don't have to know who I am, but you have to be respectful. And don't come talk to me in the middle of a situation and try to have a dialogue with me when I'm trying to handle what's happening around me. You all need to reflect on what you're doing. And those of you that are on board and that are being the model, you continue to be that model for the rest of your colleagues. Because your nonverbals, your relationship with kids or lack of is glaring, at least. And when I say glaring, it means I can read a high school. I was in a high school with 2,800 kids, rougher than this. So these folks are not going to school me on how to be a good principal. So moving forward, you are on board. And if you don't want to be, perfectly fine. You let me know your intent, you let the principal know, and we will move on. Because remember, your appraisals, your evaluation, whatever this campus is, you are. Because it's a direct reflection of the leadership, of the instruction or lack of instruction, and the culture. And Mr. Miles talks over and over about the expectations of high culture. We don't have high culture. In no other place are we going to be, doing what's happening here. So we are going to go to no cell phones. And that is because we have had multiple fights the entire year in the cafeteria. Kids are filming. They're posting stuff on Twitter. We had parents unhinged yesterday in the office because their kids getting drugged and beating the tar out of on the ground. That's not okay. We had 3 fights. We had the whole police department descend over here. And we're going to row in the same direction. And the day you don't want to row, you're welcome to leave. And that's not a threat. You have a choice. But we need people people that are going to do their jobs and that are held accountable, and that I'm not going to micromanage you or babysit anybody that doesn't want to do their job. You get here on time, your lessons are prepared, and next week we have the IR team, the district team that's coming. So they'll be here all week to see what kind of instruction is happening. Because let me tell you, we have hundreds of kids that can't pass EOCs. We have hundreds of kids that can't read or write or do math. And that didn't happen yesterday. That didn't happen a few months ago. That's been happening. So make a decision, because I'm not going to lower my standards. And you support the principal that's going to stick his neck out, because I'm going to support the team that's here that I send from the division. Because if I was somebody else, I'd have just fired everybody. You know what? Just clean house. We have a job. We build capacity. We strengthen people with support and high accountability. So you need to think about what you're doing. And if it's time, it's time. I'm not offended. Because you're one of 67 schools that I supervise. And this community, they want better. And you think they don't watch? They watch when you come, when you leave, what you do, what you say, what you don't say, and what their kids tell them you do or don't do. That guaranteed. So when you think nobody's watching, and all day today you had them for 3 hours, I had people do sweeps. Teachers on the phone, kids on the phone, nothing happening. So you set the bar. You could have done intervention. They could have been on the computer. They could have been doing a reading. You could have even had a conversation to them and said, hey, why do you think all this is happening? Give me your perspective. But I didn't see that. So don't think that we don't see what's going on. And it starts here. Not out there and not with the kids. We set the tone. We model. We talk about that. Teachers are held in high regard, but only when they care. And I can teach you a lot of stuff, curriculum, pedagogy, strategies, but I can't teach you to care. So decide, talk to your colleagues, but I expect that you support the principal. And the minute you don't, then you and I can have a conversation. Because I have the courage to face people and have critical conversations. You might not like it, and it might make you uncomfortable, but I have no problem letting you know this is happening, it better change, or these are the next steps. You decide. And I shouldn't have to do that. I should treat you as a professional.
I mean, not right now.
So come Monday, there are no cell phones. None. And there will not be. We're not going to earn them back, because guess what? You're not monitoring that they're not being used in the classroom, and they're not being monitored in the hallways, and there's a show every day in the cafeteria. So no, nobody's using cell phones. And we'll deal with the kids. And we'll talk to them, and we'll build a forum, because I want them to tell me what's happening in the rooms. And what their teachers are or not doing, and what they need. Because they do have a voice. And then I'm going to be with the parents. And if I have to go to the apartments, I will go to the apartments. Trust me, I will leave no stone unturned. I didn't get to this job being a lightweight. So you have an expectation, things will be emailed to you, you pay attention, you listen, and you come prepared on Monday. And the building will be open Saturday. That means your room better be put together, it better be clean. Your learning objective, your lesson plans, everything ready to go, what I call open to close. It's ready. You shouldn't be fumbling in the morning. When that IRT hits the door, you're ready. And you're on your feet teaching, bell to bell. And that is the expectation, and no one's lowering it. And if you need help, there's plenty of people that can support you. But aside from that, you know the expectation. Pencils sharpened, materials ready to go. That is low-hanging fruit. No one should get evaluated poorly because they don't have pencils, or highlighters, or copies, or you're killing the kids with death by PowerPoint. You know what you need to do. So get it done. And I promise you, Mr. Miles will show up here. It's just, I guarantee you he might even show up Monday or Tuesday. He will come here. And I will talk to him today. And you already know the messaging. You know from the beginning. The kids have known there's no cell phones. This has been going on since August. But we've not been consistent. And when I say we, means everywhere from the top. The principal, the APs, the counselors, everybody that doesn't teach a class. You contribute to the culture. So with that being said, I'm going to end there. But you need to come tomorrow. I recommend that you come tomorrow. Because I'm doing a sweep of this building. And those of you that choose to be disrespectful, I will address you. Period. You may not like the principal, you may not like me, I'm not in the popularity game. I'm here to do a job. So if you have a problem, you want to email me, by all means email me. I am very accessible. And these students are going to learn, and we're going to model for them how to not be disrespectful to the teachers, to the leaders, to you all, to the staff, to the learning coaches. They're not going to talk crazy to us. Unacceptable. And I'm going to model for them. I'm going to say, come back, let's start over. Because we don't yell at kids and we don't go crazy on kids. We model for them. Young man, young lady, come here. And I'll give you an example. When the parents were upset, the call out went out, lines of parents were waiting in the front office, and there was a young lady that was going by, and I said to her, young lady, where are you headed? She raised her voice so loud, I'm going home. I was like, wrong answer. She goes to the office. I told the officer, bring her back. I said, bring her back. I didn't get upset. I told her, come here. What's your name? Better yet, let me introduce myself. I said, I think you owe me an apology because I don't think I was disrespectful to you. I said, and the way you answered, I said, is unacceptable. And she said, I'm sorry. I said, don't ever do that again. And I accept your apology. I said, and now you can proceed to the office. They don't run Madison. These kids do not run Madison. And until you hold the line in a respectful way, what do I tell you? Respect and trust. You break that, you have nothing. And these kids have broken trust because they carried on doing some kind of boycott when I said, you want to use your voice, use your voice. That's a mob mentality thinking. We're going to restructure how we do things. Staircases will be up one way. You have to be strategic in campuses that are big. You pay attention to the patterns, and that's when I'm working with a team. This, only one way. This goes this way. These go that way. Everything is strategic, because there's only so many eyes and ears. So you have an important role, because there's a lot of you, and there's not that many APs. You stand at your door, you greet your kids, you help your colleagues, and when we have something like this go off, if you're the designee, you say, so-and-so, take my kids. I'm going to post where I need to post and put hands on deck. That's what you do in a building. Because Lord forbid we have a crisis, an active shooter, what's going to happen? There has to be a plan. So again, I'm going to leave it at that. But I will not put up with disrespect from anyone at any level. So if you were rude to me, you owe me an apology. And by all means, feel free to email me, feel free to ask for me to come, I'll be happy to come. Building open, what time on tomorrow?
Early as 7 a.m.
And we'll close at? You want to do 1, 12, what?
4 p.m.
Okay, all day. You decide. Yes, ma'am. We'll let you in. We'll take care of it. He'll email you out. Also, another thing, I'm glad you raised your badge. Every employee, I do not want to see one employee without an ID. I want it on a lanyard, and I want it visible. Not in your pocket. I don't want to see it anywhere else, in your wallet, your purse. I don't want to see it. I want it on at all times. I need to be able to distinguish whether you are an employee here, a parent here, who are you, and what is your business here. I said the same thing to the kids. The expectation is those kids have that lanyard on. And you repeat it, and you repeat it, and you repeat it until they, like they used to tell me, you don't let up, do you? No, have a good day. No, it's a safety issue. We could have any student come into this building thinking it's a student and it's not a student. And these kids look like adults. And some of the teachers look very young. So, again, we need to know who's who. That goes for everybody, non-negotiable, have it on. You need a lanyard, we'll get you a lanyard. We need to get the kids lanyards, they get it. Money is not the issue is safety. And they'll share with you the schedule of how we're collecting the phones. In the morning on Monday, I will have reinforcements here next week, and we're not letting up. And it's 4 months, and it's going to be hard 4 months. Because it gets worse before it gets better. Just like any kid on a behavior plan. They're going to test you, and you're going to keep saying the same thing like a broken record. Where are you going? Where's your ID? Get to class. And we're going to be strategic. So the APs have a lot of work to do. They have already had I've had my conversation with them, and they need to be committed and invested. And other than that, that's where we are. Anything else for the good of the order? Contreras?
Thank you, Ms. Adewale, for sharing, again, our vision, PS, we're going to stick together. And again, I appreciate all the right pockets that we've had today. Teachers doing the right thing, stay strong, keep modeling for our colleagues, keep doing the right thing. I really appreciate you guys. And again, together we can achieve anything. Like I said, we have a lot of talent here. Our students are some of the best that I've ever worked with or seen or got the chance to meet. And we have to do everything we can to give them high quality instruction, as Ms. McCarty said, and as you know. And what she said, again, just speaks to me, because that's what I'm used to. I know that, again, you just met me, but high quality education and the way that looks, it looks a lot different than what I'm seeing. But it's okay, we're gonna grow each other. If you're in it, you're gonna be that top level teacher that we want everyone to be. But just be very clear that if this is not something you feel like doing, or maybe you just joined because you didn't know and you want a different situation, again, you can talk to me too, and those conversations are coming pretty soon. But again, grateful for all your support. The building will be open tomorrow, and it's here. Again, that's the type of expectation. That's what I do. I'm working Saturdays, even when I was a teacher, to make sure that my class was top notch. And I know a lot of you do already. So the building's open, so you guys can join us. And again, it's got to be super tight and ready for Monday. Objectives, lessons, supplies, all those things ready to go. Plan from bell to bell.
Also, if you're missing anything, you don't have response cards, highlighters, email them so that you have them in your room when you walk in the door Monday. So if you the secretaries, whoever's gonna be here, put a list together, because I don't want you to tell me, I didn't have this, no. I don't want excuses. I want you to be proactive, tell me what you need, we'll get it to you. Okay? So, get it done, and also make sure that you have a place that you can lock things in. You don't have a key, we'll get you a key. You've got to remove the barriers, right? You have to tell me, because I can't read your mind, I don't know what you need. So you need to tell us so that we can move those, get it done, and handle your business. Just like we tell the kids, okay? Aside from that, I think that'll close the meeting up.
All right, guys, well, thank you so much. We'll see each other.